Okay, looks like we're rolling. Monica, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Laundry Liberator, what can you tell me about it and yourself and what you guys do?
Yeah, so we are uh, Bozeman's longest running time pickup and delivery service focused on residential homes and commercial companies who own their own product. So our big thing is we wash what you own. There's other companies that will rent you their product, or laundromats who primarily focus on residential, but we're kind of that niche right in the middle where we like to focus on both residential and commercial. Um, take a load off and get your stuff back as soon as we can so you can go on with your day and your life.
Meaning other companies are just dropping off a product that they've cleaned. They're taking their product and cleaning it, and they're just sort of recycling a clean product that's theirs. That's what different companies do.
Correct. The bigger companies, we're kind of right in the middle. So you have bigger companies that they own all the linen or uniforms. They do a lot of uniforms, that kind of stuff, rugs, sheets, towels, that kind of thing. And they own them. And then they set up a contract with you based on the par you need for your business. So how many mops, how many bar towels, that kind of stuff for kitchens. And then you have a price you pay for renting it, and then a price you pay for washing and drying and returning it.
And you're just washing and drying their product, whether you're picking it up or whether they're dropping it off and they're picking it back up.
Yeah, our big thing is we wash what you own. So some businesses, especially Bozeman being such a small business haven, people want their specific fabrics or their specific colors. And with these bigger companies, you don't really have choices. You just have what they're willing to carry huge amounts of because that drops their margins. Makes sense. But you want those pink flannel sheets for your massage business. We're going to wash those for you.
Gotcha. And you serve individual people and businesses?
Yes. Yeah. Our client base, I'd say, is about 65% residential, and the rest is commercial. As far as how much we produce, our commercial accounts are way larger quantities of laundry than our residential. But I got in the business to help the families and the individuals who need to save time. Commercial kind of just grew into what we do. And it's where we put a lot of focus as well.
So if I've got too much laundry and not enough time, I can leave my laundry somewhere. You'd come pick it up at the house and you drop it back off. Is it always folded when you drop it back off?
So we have 3 different price points, primarily for residential clients such as yourself. And it's not all about time. Sometimes it's just a chore you don't want to do. So the 3 price points are wash, dry, fold, which is what you just said. We also offer wash, dry, no fold. You want a little cheaper price. You don't worry about it folded. That's fine. We'll save some of the work on our end. And then there's the part that we created about 6 years ago, which is your laundry's already clean and you're sending it into us to sort it and fold it. That primarily happens with families who have multiple children. Let's say 4 to 6 children. We have one client who has 11 children. So they might be able to keep up with churning that laundry over in their washer and dryer, but it ends up on that spare bed or that couch or wherever, and people are just living out of piles of clean laundry. So people can bring us that laundry, or we pick it up and we will go through that for you. So all you have to do is put it away.
I promise this is not common, but there's a basket of clean laundry right now. And I went out of town for 4 days, and that's where it was when we left, and it's still there now. So I totally see. I don't have kids, so I can see this being a totally different ballgame with one or many kids. Hi, folks. Quick note from me. If you don't already know, the goal of Mountain Mule Media is to build real connection between Montana's businesses and the people they serve. If this episode or any other has given you something worth thinking about, smiling at, or passing along, I've got a small ask. Share it with a friend, text it to someone, post it in your story. That one simple action helps these businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this show keep going. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. Now back to the show.
Yeah, I think it's just a point of like letting go and realizing that your time's more valuable. And so whether your laundry's dirty when you give it to us or clean when you give it to us, you get your time back by giving it to us. And then you can go do whatever you want. Cook dinner, take a nap, go on an adventure, whatever you want.
Do you know who Alex Hormozy is?
I've heard of him. I need to follow him more.
He has an acquisition company. They buy and sell companies. They do mergers. And he gives a lot of advice on social media, on the internet, about what to do as business owners. And one of the biggest things he says you can do as a business owner is get so much of your time back. And he said a lot of ultra wealthy people will do this, but a lot of people that have had some relative success, not even massive success, but even, if they're making $100,000 a year, the amount of time you can get back in a week when you take some of this stuff and have someone like yourself do laundry, if you have someone do meals, you can get, it's hours, it's like weeks of a year back in time. And as business owners, we're always so busy, and we have a million things to do in a million different roles. And I think what you're doing could really serve a lot of value to a lot of people, business owners or not. Just if you have a big family and you have a busy job, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, thank you. We try to explain to people that, like, cleaning companies coming into your home, that's something that's kind of normal now. A lot of people don't hesitate to be like, okay, I need someone to come clean my home. Laundry service, I feel like, is that next big wave. And we've been trying to teach people, to educate people for 10 years now that you can let go of it. Some people are worried it's personal, or it's this generational thing of, I might be failing if I can't keep up with my own laundry. And it's not about that. It's literally, what would you rather be doing other than laundry? If laundry is your love, go for it. Maybe I'm hiring, come on in. But otherwise, let go and let someone else do it so you can do the things you actually love to do.
I couldn't agree more. I had this conversation with a friend of mine, Cole. Shout out to Cole if he's listening. And he was saying he really enjoys doing laundry. And we were having this conversation, same thing about Hormozy, but I think it is hard to let go. And you do think you're a failure. I'm a grown man. I can't even do my own laundry. I don't have time to do my kids' laundry. I get it, but it's pretty cool when you have time to spend with your kids and time to take care of yourself and all that. So I see both sides of it. I get that it's hard to let go, but we only have so much time. It doesn't last forever. So it's cool to get some of that back, and it's cool what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. I tell people sometimes a story about, this was like year 3 of my business. I had a husband, wife. The wife called me up asking about our services, and I explained to her what we did. And she starts crying on the phone, and she's like, I don't feel like this is something I should give up because it's my role. But I'm a traveling nurse. I'm only home on the weekends with our kids. My husband's a pilot. He's gone 6 days of the week. She goes, I spend my whole time off doing laundry and doing the chores of our house, and my kids are aging, and I'm missing all of it. And so she's crying with me on the phone, and I was like, then let go. Like, I'll call you a house cleaner too. Like, we can help you if you want me to refer you to someone. I got people, but like, let go of the laundry. Go play with your kids. Take them to the park. Do the thing now that you'll never get back. And they were with us for about 6 months until their life kind of evened out. And that's great. If you don't need us forever, great. Give some of your time back when you can, though.
Yeah, it sounds like a no-brainer when you frame it that way. I see both sides of it, but it would be really cool for people. You're not going to get those years back when your kids are young and they're grown up, and you're younger. We're all aging whether we like it or not. So it's very cool. Where did this idea start for this business? What made you get into this world?
So when I first moved to Montana, after living here about 6 months, I took a job at the Clothesline Laundromat here in Bozeman.
Okay.
And I was an attendant, so making change and then helping people use the machines, just keeping the flow of people going. And I got promoted to manager. I was manager for the last couple of years. I was there for about 4 years. And we kept having people come in saying, hey, I got called into work. Could you guys just deliver it? I'll pay you to deliver it. No, sorry, we don't do this. And after about 2 years of that, I was just kind of tired of saying no. So I approached the owner at the time, who was my boss. And I said, hey, I think you should add a delivery service. He's like, no, I have too much on my plate. I don't want to add anymore. I was like, you really should. Like, put me in charge of it. I'll help you figure it out. No, I don't want it. Okay, what if I start one? I'll work for you full time. And then when I got off at 3. I would deliver laundry back to people. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Like, your business will do the laundry. I'll just pay a little fee to deliver it. And so about 6 months after that conversation, I started, which was July of 2015. I started that, and I had maybe 1 delivery a week, maybe 2 for the first 6 months. And then we just have grown so much year over year over year. I worked for that company for a year and a month, actually. And then I realized I actually broke my foot while working there. Silly little story. Slipped on some dirt, landed wrong, broke a bone in my foot. Was on workers' comp for 3 months, and I ran my own numbers, or what I knew my numbers were at the time. I was like, I can pay myself what he can pay me, and I can work for myself. So I approached him and I said, hey, after workers' comp for 3 months, approached him and I was like, hey, I'm going to give you my notice. I'm going to go out on my own. And he asked me, he goes, where are you going to go do your laundry at? It's like, I'll probably go to your competitor because I talk too much and I've made friends with all the patrons here. So I'll never get anything done. And he suggested, he's like, why don't you use our facility third shift while we're closed? I already trust you. And then you can use this facility. I'll take your money. And I was like, well, I can't afford a rental space right now. I need to do it while I can just put quarters in a machine. And he's like, I won't charge you rent. He's like, you're a customer. I'm just giving you access overnight. Okay. And we were under contract with the clothesline for the first 5 years of business. And
That's so cool.
yeah.
And good on you for seeing a need, feeling a need. Do you have a background in business prior to this or no?
No. I think I get tired of telling people no. There's so many things that this world we could do to help ourselves. And I just got tired of saying no. And it's people who were working just as hard as I was who just needed a little bit of help. And my first client was actually a massage therapist in town. She was a regular drop-off client. And I approached her with the business idea and asked her, would you pay for this? And she was like, yep. I said, okay, what would you pay? And we talked about it a little bit and I ran some numbers. And then when I was ready to start it, I reached out to her and I was like, all right, Molly, let's go. When do you want your first pickup? And she was my client for several years.
Yeah, it's cool that you saw that. I thought when you said you're telling people no, you're also turning away money.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, there's something I want to pay you for it. No, you're saying no to multiple things. It's cool that you have the perspective to see that and turn it into a business.
Yeah, and it's crazy to see where we're at now because I started it wanting to buy the clothesline. That was my goal. Is I love the idea of having a self-service. I like being around people constantly. I'm a talker.
You're in the right place.
Yeah. And so when I started it, I was like, I'm going to do this for about 3 years, save every dime I make. And then I can I can try to buy the clothesline when the owner's ready to sell. Because he told me he had probably 3 to 8 years before he'd want to sell the business, roughly. So that's all I started it for. And then it turned to this thing after 1 year of, oh, this can be something. And now we have 5,000 square foot facility and 9 staff members and we're
So
working
cool.
6 days a week.
Is it the same owner still at the clothesline or no?
Nope. The clothesline sold in, if I remember correctly, 2020 to new owners. And they currently still own it, best of my knowledge.
There's a point in my life when I used that place. I did find it boggling that is all quarters and there's no quarter machine in the place. So you had to get the quarters from the
attendant.
Yeah. And I think it's still the same to this day, if I'm not mistaken.
Honestly, I haven't been in there in a while because I have enough laundry in
Makes
my life.
sense.
I don't, but I know, so that clothesline or the laundromat was one of the original in Bozeman. It started as another name. And then when the owner I worked under took it over, he renamed it. But his thing was he didn't want a coin machine because he wanted the interaction. There was benefit in having the interaction versus having that scary laundromat that you're used to walking into that you're unsure if it's actually clean enough to do or it's so filthy. And so having an attendant there, you got the people and plus there were some there to clean. And then he added drop-off services at some point. So he was able to do 2 revenue streams at once, also while maintaining this personable, the conversations with families or whoever. Some people didn't want to talk, but most people did.
That makes sense. It's cool that he had the insight to think about that because, yeah, if it's a kind of self-serve, sketchy laundromat, nobody's there, and so much traffic going in and out, it gets dirty fast.
Mm-hmm.
That was the prior owner, not the current owner that had that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think if I'm kind of guessing here, but I think it's still the same system with the attendant in there and the quarters, but I never thought about it, but that makes a lot of sense if it's kind of a empty, soulless, has no attendant and nobody there. And that is interesting because I always wondered why there wasn't just a quarter machine in there, but actually makes complete sense now.
Mm-hmm.
So did you consider buying it when he did sell it, or were you too far out on your own at this point?
No, I did. So I had gotten a first right of refusal from him legally signed so that I would be the first one who knew. And I was given an opportunity, but the way the sale would work is I wouldn't own the land, and there was a huge potential at the time that a neighbor would possibly buy that land within a couple of years of me buying the business, and I saw it as detrimental if I was to put in some money to buy an existing business for the value it was worth. And then a couple of years from then, I could possibly get the land bought out from under me and lose everything. It wasn't worth going into that venture. That deal ended up not happening. Someone did come in and purchase the business and the land, but the land offer wasn't given to me. And so by that time, it was like, okay, this wasn't where I'm meant to be right now. That's great. I can't afford the price with the land. So let's move on.
Yeah. And you're happy with where things are now. So yeah, very cool.
Yeah. The more jobs I can provide is really what matters, because it's more people I can talk to, and, being able to give laundry might not be the most pleasant job for anyone, but I always want our staff to come in and love something about the job, whether it's someone they work with or just the pace at which we work, or some people just like folding laundry and it brings them peace. Great for you. I probably have a position that can give you peace.
That's very cool. And you're over, is that technically, I mean, it's in between Four Corners and Belgrade. Where
We're technically Bozeman.
Okay.
Yep.
What's the bakery that you're next to?
Aurora French Bakery.
Okay. Which is popular. So people know where that is. What else? There's some other businesses in that plaza as well.
Yep. We have Stepping Stones Christian Preschool right next door to us as well. And then Hybrid Motion, which is a gymnastics studio for children. They also run a, what is it called? When you teach your children at home. Homeschool. There we go. They have like a homeschool gym day, which I think is really cool.
Oh,
I never really knew much about that, but one of our employees is a homeschooler, and her kids go every Friday and they get a big gym class. Things I never really thought existed. But
shout out to the homeschoolers, because I was one growing up.
Yeah.
It's if you are homeschooled, it's very important, at least in my experience, to get involved with the community. I played a lot of sports, so it was very beneficial, because if you're just interacting with your siblings, you're very isolated, and then you're very, I don't know, kind of, you feel cut off from the world.
Yeah.
I find it when it's very cool when a business is next to a bunch of other businesses, so it's really easy to reference where it is, like the bakery and any of those businesses. You can say it's right next to so-and-so. You can see that essentially when you're driving, towards Big Sky or towards Four Corners in Belgrade. You're right there.
Mm-hmm.
So people come there. Do you function just like a laundromat as well? They'll just drop stuff off and pick it up there?
Yeah. So our big thing is only my employees touch our machines.
Yep.
So you can walk in, you can drop off your laundry there. You don't have to let us know. Just pop in with your laundry. And then typically it's done within 24 hours. If we're really busy, we'll push it off a little bit longer, just because if we're not capable of doing it, we're not going to make a false promise. And then we also have pickup and delivery that runs 6 days a week, depending on what city you're in.
Okay. Do you have any hot tips for laundry for people doing it? Anything that would make it easier for them as a customer, the whole experience, whether they're going to just have you pick it up or they're going to come drop it off, or just any, laundry care hot tips in general?
Honestly, I think more people just need to let go. I have people who want to schedule a service with us, and they spend 2 weeks emailing me about how I want to receive the laundry. Should I put it in a hamper or a plastic bag, or they don't have a laundry bag? Should they buy one? And just let go and bring us your laundry. I helped a woman the other day. They just moved here. She had 6 children, and their washer and dryer wasn't working. And I helped her clean out her car. And I was like, there's like little kids' underwear and dirty socks. And she's like, I'm sorry, it's embarrassing. Why? It's just laundry. I'm just trying to gather it all. I don't want those 3 socks to be in your trunk. I want us to wash them. And so I think people really just need to let go and just show up. I shout out to Aurora a lot, and I tell everyone, have you been to the French Bakery in Four Corners? Yeah, I'm to the left. Bring me your clothes, get a baguette. And it's a big selling point when I try to tell people, and that's fine. More people who go to her, more people who see me.
Yeah.
But I think people just need to let go, put the pile out, put it in a trash bag, put it in a hamper. Don't worry about what you're giving me. We wear gloves. We've seen it. We don't care.
They think they're coming to get their laundry done, but this is a therapeutic experience.
Yes, we realize that you're not the only one who has sick kids, or you're not the only one who has your own Airbnb rental and your cleaner just quit and you're having to do it all. We got you. Just bring it in.
The name Laundry Liberator, where does that come from?
So I remember sitting, it was a ex of mine. We were living together and we were sitting around trying to come up with a name. And I knew I wanted laundry in the name because I try to do everything in my business so that the simplest person can understand it. And so I knew I wanted laundry, but I didn't, and I love alliteration, but I didn't want laundry lady because I didn't want it to be this idea that I was the only person doing your laundry or that men weren't allowed to work with me. And so we opened a dictionary. He was in another room and we went through a bunch of L words. And I don't even remember ones we liked. We just kind of went through it. And he goes from another room and he's like, Laundry Liberator, dun da da dun. I was like, that's it. You put a sound effect with it without even realizing it. That's it. And then my dad's a big Superman fan. And so superheroes have been part of our life. And I always wanted a female superhero. So I was like, okay, we're going to do this. And we're going to make it a female superhero. And then that's what people see on our van. And when you walk in, and I have her tattooed on me. So branding is all about the superhero. And yeah.
It's a catchy name. It sticks and you remember it and it makes complete sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where did you grow up before you moved to Montana?
So born in Florida.
Okay.
Raised there till I was 9. And then my family moved to Tennessee.
Okay.
And I moved into Montana when I was 25. So I was raised, most of my schooling was in Tennessee.
How's the contrast been from Tennessee to Montana?
What pulled me out here is I had a best friend who moved out here. And when I was visiting, I had a 2-week vacation out here visiting her. It was how active people were. Like from the South, people just weren't very active. You have beautiful areas and waterfalls and rivers and streams, and the weather is warmer most of the time, but people didn't want to get outside. It was hot. It was muggy. There were bugs and whatever reasons, no one wanted to ever get outside. And it was just kind of complacent, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of factory jobs that families just where we lived, your parents worked for a factory. That's where you were going to go. And I just didn't fit that bubble. And I never really cared for Tennessee in that way. I always wanted out. I didn't know where. Luckily, I followed my friend out here when I visited. Like it was October of 2009. It was perfect weather the first week, snowed like crazy the second week, and people were still out hiking, some still in shorts. And I was like, it's snowing. People have shorts on, but it still felt great outside with the sun. And I was hooked. I was like, I want to be here because people get out and they enjoy life here. And I moved 6 months later.
That's such a great reason to move here. And yeah, it's obviously gone very well for you with the business.
Yes.
What do you do when you're not running your business, or is that an all-consuming thing?
We're working on making it not an all-consuming thing. Right now, that's pretty much all we're doing. My husband and I are about to close on a house this week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. We also celebrate 3 years tomorrow. So
congratulations again.
It's a week.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have a husky mixed dog. Live with my sister as a husky mixed dog. So it's a lot of let's get the dogs out. We really like kayaking in the summer, camping as often as we can. We really like kayaking. So we're more summer people. I don't really do a lot in the winter, but the winter is for when I clean my house and I purge my stuff. And I'm trying to get back into crafts. I used to make my own earrings and sell them and things like that, which I don't know. I feel like it's a very chick thing in this area, but I don't know. I have fun. So right now, not too much, but the idea of where the business is going is kind of where all my spare time is trying to figure out what direction that will be and how to make that happen.
Is there a busiest season for you? Is it holidays, or is it pretty steady year round?
So we have 2 busy seasons, and it's based on tourism in the area. So summer and winter. We service Big Sky Bozeman and Belgrade. And so Bozeman tourism picks up real heavy in the summertime. And that brings like our business clients who use us, they're busier, as well as families are going out trying to get more camping in, that kind of stuff. So they use us more for that. And then in winter, Big Sky really blows up for skiing. I mean, they do in the summer for mountain biking and such, but the skiing and people traveling for that winter escape, Big Sky really ramps up. Generally when the snow falls, so it's give or take, but December through March is real heavy. And then again, June through October. And then we have 2 shoulder seasons, which is what's happening right now. But it's our time where our staff, we clean and we detail things in the business, and we really work on our procedures and kind of tighten things up before the next busy season.
Yeah, I have the exact same seasonality with my business because it's revolves so much around tourism. And I'd imagine the Airbnbs are rented so much more during those seasons and everything else. So that makes complete sense. Being a business owner, what's the biggest thing you've learned? What has it taught you having employees and trying to grow a business and any of that kind of stuff?
The biggest thing I've learned is probably the thing I'm worst at, which probably makes sense, is it can't all exist in my head. I don't know how many times writing SOPs or trying to teach people how to do the job, we're really anal retentive about what we do because people love the quality that we present back to them. And I say that you eat with your eyes, but you also, how you receive your laundry makes that pressure of giving it to someone well worth it when you see how perfect it comes back. And we strive for that. But for years, when I would train people, I'm just like, why don't you memorize this? Why can't you memorize this? Well, not everyone's like me. And that's okay. But it's get out of my own head. Sit with the thoughts, write them down, talk with things about people, write them down, just get out of my own head because I won't be successful if it just lives in my own head.
I completely agree with that. And I'll plug Alex Hormozy again. He says, if it's not written down, just assume it was never said. And it has been very helpful advice for me with employees because I'll do the exact same thing. I have all these thoughts and ideas in my head and I assume everyone else knows what I'm thinking and it seems very obvious, but yeah, you need to get your thoughts out there so that you can see them clearly and other people can understand where you're coming from. Yeah,
I'm a huge dry erase board fan, so we have a lot of dry erase boards that generally have things we need to do the job, but also it's the random thought. It's how can you fix this business? Some flaw you see as an employee, write it down so we can all talk about it later. But if you keep it in your head, no one's going to know we're never going to get any better. Or you had a problem with this person's order for whatever reason, write it down so you can tell someone. Because if you don't tell anyone, it's just going to continue to be a problem.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've realized this. I have employees come up with some great ideas.
Yes.
I never thought of that. That's a great idea. Well, some of it we'll start doing right away. And they see the world, everyone sees the world through a different lens. So there can be such value in taking feedback and implementing things. When I owned the business, it was just me doing everything, probably similar for you. And some of the guys and gals that work for me, they're better at some of the things I did, and they just have a better perspective and a different personality, and it's done nothing but add value to the company and make it a better experience for our customers.
Yeah, I think the biggest part is realizing that people aren't giving you feedback to destroy what you have. They generally want to make it better. But I think when you create a business, it becomes your baby. And no, that's not going to work. I've already thought about that. Well, have you? Have you really thought that through? Or you just instantly said no because it's not what you had already planned? And so keeping we have weekly meetings and we encourage anyone, you have any issues or want to change anything, bring it up. It might not happen immediately. We try to test things as long as it doesn't interrupt the whole flow. Do a lot more testing in the off seasons than we do the busy seasons because we have more time to. But our employees, especially over the last 2 years since we've had this storefront, have changed our business and only for the better. Yeah, there have been some hiccups. There's things people do wrong. Mistakes happen. You can't realize that. You're never going to be successful because that's normal. But they've made us who we are today. It wasn't just me.
Yeah, it's so cool. That's really, I've been realizing it too. And it's the idea is evolving, but building a team it's all about other people. a limitation to everything that we can do on our own. We all have that limitation, but when we start adding people to a team and build a team, we all get better and everyone gets the fruits of that experience.
Well, how beautiful is it when you can look at a team that you've inspired and created and they're there rallying you on too. It's whether you want employees or not, employees are the best and worst thing. Let's be real. But the best part about them is you have this collective mind, hopefully, that is always trying to fuel success. And who doesn't want that support behind you?
Yeah, very cool. If anyone wants to come use your service and find you, what's the best place to do that? Other than, say the name of the French bakery one more time.
Aurora French Bakery.
Other than going to Aurora French Bakery, I'd love to reach out to them and see if they want to come on and talk about what they do. But where can they find you on the web? What are your general hours?
Generally, so we're open Monday through Saturday, Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 4. Have a little day off on Saturday. And just show up. If you want to book services, just go to our website, laundryliberator.com. And there's a big button that says get started. Follow it. It prompts you everything you need to know as far as, well, how do I know what day and time I'm going to pick up? When you put your address in, it'll tell you only the time slots we're in your area. So it'll tell you the exact area, the time that we're going to be there. It's a time frame. And then it'll ask you how you like your laundry done. You just fill it out. Be honest. And then we pick up. It's that easy. That's
so cool. Are you guys on social media?
We have Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
I'm trying to get better on both of them. It's kind of this last quarter of this year in 2026 is the idea is to really blow up both of them, just because we like to give free advice for stain removal on our social media. We don't necessarily think everyone should use us if we're not the perfect fit for you, but that doesn't mean we can't help you be more successful in laundry. And then also we want people to know what we do. We are a scent-free facility. People need to know that because there are a lot of allergies out there. And also that we're not judging you, whether you work construction or you have 6 kids who have the flu. Like, we don't care. Just bring it in.
What's the best hot tip you have for stain removal? Like
the best hot tip?
Yeah. Or a hot tip.
Yeah. Dawn dish soap.
Okay.
It's oil and grease. So I always say that there's ducks on the bottle because I used to help with oil spills in the oceans. It removes oil. Most food is oil based. And so when you drop that spaghetti on your shirt, don't panic. Just go get your dish soap, put some on, put it in your hamper, wash like normal. It will generally come out.
So you'd soak it with the dish soap as soon as it happens, ideally?
I mean, if you're in the company that you can just change your shirt, great. Otherwise, wait till you get back. Rinsing things with cold water help most stains, but just get that degreaser on there. Get dish soap. We prefer Dawn. We've tried a lot of them. Dawn works the best in our opinion.
Okay. I'm going to put links to everything in the description. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And very cool what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, folks. You can find the full blog post for every episode along with key takeaways and links at mountain-mule.com. If you haven't yet, consider following the show. That one small action helps these Montana businesses get seen, grow, and thrive, and it helps this podcast keep going too. If you know a business that would be a good fit for the show, we'd love to hear from you. Just reach out through the website or social. Thank you for supporting these Montana businesses. See you on the next show.